If we dissect, let's say, the manufacturing sector in India, there are a couple of things which starkly comes out. The first aspect is that overall, the shift traditionally from agriculture to manufacturing that probably China had did not happen in India. We are still restricted to about 15 to 20, 25% of overall GDP. Having said that, the conditions which existed, at least again, low-cost pool, skill sets, which China had an advantage of, they're still present in India. So the question is, how do we take it forward? And again, a couple of things come to mind. The first aspect is, what are some of the key areas or key issues which are affecting Indian manufacturing? And one of them, as we discussed, is high borrowing costs, so access to funds. The second aspect is high input costs, so access to raw materials. The third aspect is overall inflation. And this has been plaguing for the past few years. It wasn't there earlier. But what is very important is, how do these aspects affect the SME sector, because that's really where manufacturing growth needs to be. That's where really the entrepreneurial zeal that we spoke about earlier needs to come in. Because if India has a robust SME sector growth, then that is going to bring up our manufacturing in a big way. Secondly, if we look at the overall sector and what the government has done, there are a number of positives. About a few years back, the Commerce Minister announced the National Manufacturing Policy. Right. We spoke about the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor. Recently, during the British Prime Minister's visit about a year and a half back, there was talk of the Mumbai-Bangalore Corridor. Now, these are very important developments, because if these are implemented in the correct fashion, indeed, if the Delhi-Mumbai Corridor takes off, then what it shows is there's penetration of manufacturing into the rural economy, because manufacturing cannot be restricted to being an urban phenomenon itself. It has to penetrate into the rural economy. It has to affect the rural workforce to actually come out of a traditional sustenance around agriculture to get into manufacturing, to build up their skill set into manufacturing. And that way, then the growth aspect of manufacturing will be will be much more wide and much more focused to that extent. So I think the conditions are right, and the conditions are there. It's really the ground level implementation which perhaps hasn't happened to the extent that one would want it to happen. So overall, going forward, if some of these implementation issues are taken care of, if the focus on SME is retained, if actually rural penetration of manufacturing can happen, I believe it can really grow the manufacturing sector in a much more larger way.